So the Fall Off came out on Friday, February 6th. That's what we'd been waiting for.
Yep.
J. Cole's new album. I'm going to use his language. J. Cole's intended last album. Anybody who starts something with I had intentions to, past tense, had intentions to, is no longer doing the thing they're saying they had intentions to do. I just want y'all to know that. So I don't want to hear anybody talking about how this is J. Cole's last album. It's not. It's not.
Oh,
Unless something happens.
that's a problem, and that's where we got to start.
Okay.
So this thing is a long ass explainer. I'm gonna skip the first half. I'm gonna start in the bottom half of this. J.
Okay.
Cole says the Fall Off, a double album made with intentions to be my last, brings the concept of my first project full circle. Disc 29 tells a story of me returning to my hometown at age 29, a decade after moving to New York, accomplishing what would have seemed impossible to most. I was at a crossroads with the three loves of my life, my woman, my craft, and my city. Disc 39 gives insight to my mindset during a similar trip home, this time as a 39-year-old man, older and a little closer to peace. Without giving away too much more, here is the back cover of The Fall Off. All pictures in this version of the album were shot by me. The front and back covers are photographs I took when I was 15. The back cover that includes the track list is a picture I took of the walls in my bedroom at the time. Thank you to every artist and photographer that cleared these pictures. I woke up every morning as a teenager, quite literally looking up to y'all. When this album releases, please know that you, in some deeper, metaphysical type way, are in the music too. That is one of many J. Cole explainers.
I mean,
Fall Off.
that was a nice description he gave us.
Yeah, so the Fall Off came out, 24 songs, an hour and 41 minutes. 1 hour and 41 minutes. That's how you feel. Yawn. Okay.
I think some of these songs could have been an email. I know this is going to be a controversial take.
Could have been an email?
Yeah, I'm kidding.
What
You
does
know how
that even
people,
mean?
you know how people say a meeting could have been an email.
Oh,
I wish you would
okay.
have gotten it. It makes the joke less funny that you didn't get it.
Sorry,
Um,
I'm not in the corporate world anymore, so you
okay,
know.
but you've sent emails.
Yeah.
Anyway, oh, I was just jumping right in, but
Go for it. Come on.
yeah, okay. So I think I've said before that I don't love long albums, so
Yep.
I'm already stressed going into this.
Yep. Me
I'm gonna
too.
tell you that right now. I was already stressed going into this.
Me
You
too. And
asked me,
I'm gonna tell you why.
all
Let's
right.
double dutch a little bit here. Let's ping
Mm-hmm.
pong a little bit here.
Mm-hmm.
If this the last album, a double disc for the last album, that's a tall order, my nigga. A double disc for the last album, you reaching already. Because
Yes.
in hip hop, there's really only two double albums that niggas revere. Only two. Ready to Die and All Eyes on Me. Those are the only two.
Yep.
So
Yeah.
already you putting yourself in competition with those. Because
Yeah.
there
I
are
mean,
others.
it has to
There
be.
are others, but they are not revered.
I wasn't even thinking about All Eyes on Me, but I immediately thought Ready to Die.
Yeah.
But
So
so I'm going into it. I'm stressed, and remember, I had said, listen, I wasn't gonna be. Who was I shading last week? And I said I wasn't gonna be available for that because. Oh, Little Wayne, Little Wayne. I
oh,
said I
his
wasn't gonna
halftime show.
be. Yeah, I wasn't gonna be available for that because I'd been listening to J. Cole. So I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I did not listen to it on the first day it came out, and that was because I pulled it up and I saw an hour and 41 minutes, and I was immediately stressed.
Yeah.
I was immediately stressed. I was like, if it would have said an hour and 4 minutes, I would have turned it on in that moment. But I was immediately stressed. I do understand that a double disc means more music, which means a lengthier album. I totally understand that. I'm not confused about that. There's no confusion there. I just, wow. I was like, okay, all right. This is going to be a lot of music to sort through. And y'all got to understand, we're not only listening as fans, but we're also listening as people who have to sit here and critique. So, doubly overwhelming because one, I'm a fan and I want to like it. So there's that.
There's that.
And I have told y'all multiple times that I really try to go into these albums with no expectations. And then on the other side of it, it's like, okay, I gotta really listen. I gotta listen to what he's saying. I gotta listen to the beats. I gotta see, I gotta be able to listen to musically. Does this make sense to me? And is this good?
Right.
So I turned it on. And I will say, I liked the way it started. Did you like the way it started? Let's start there. Because I know you have opinions about the full project, but when it started, what did you... Okay, when I say I like the way it started, the intro, I was confused. I wasn't sure that I pressed play on J. Cole.
So I was like, what the fuck is this? Is this a Bruce Springsteen album? Because I don't know what's happening right now.
But then as I listened to it, I was like, oh, okay, it's making references to North Carolina, so I got it.
Fine. I was like, all right, not the super hot fire intro I was expecting.
Right. So when I say I think it started well...
Which is my fault. Because and I said this last week, but just to reiterate, where you keep saying you have no expectations, I have super high expectations. Because J. Cole is somebody I'm a huge fan of, one. Number two, J. Cole is one of the best artists out. No disputing that. He's a phenomenal artist, a phenomenal MC. So and he has had great albums before. So for me, the bar is up here. Because you also, and this is a part that's gonna come up again, Jermaine Cole. Well, he gave us his middle name too now on one of the tracks. Lamar, thank you. Jermaine Lamar Cole, for 10 years, has told his fans that the fall off is coming. It's going to be the best shit ever, and you better brace yourself. So that's what we've been waiting for. We have been waiting for the best shit ever, and we have braced ourselves.
Even Ella Mai has been waiting on this album.
Even Ella Mai. Okay?
Who we need to review as well. But
we'll get to it.
Yeah.
We'll get to it.
But yeah, I hear you and I understand that. And yeah, I have in the last, I'd say, year or so, I've decided I'm not going into it with expectations, because even for people I like, because I just feel like there's been too much disappointment, especially since we've started podcasting about music.
Yeah.
Which has been several years now. So it makes it harder, because I can't just... All right, I listened to it. Okay, maybe that person just had an off day. Now I'm like actively really trying to understand and hear and, give compliments where I can and give critiques where I can. Sometimes it's challenging. So I just stopped with the expectations. But what I will say is, when I say strong start, I don't mean that first track. I mean when you actually hear J. Cole start.
Okay.
I thought that was good.
2-6.
I mean, the intro was fine. Like, I'm not upset about the intro. I feel like once I heard him,
the real intro.
Was the real intro, yeah. It took us a minute to get to that. And I guess that's the critique, right? Maybe it shouldn't have taken that long. But, like, my favorite intro of all time is the Dynasty intro.
That's it.
So,
that's it.
No, that intro wasn't going to do it for me.
No.
But when J. Cole came in, I was like, all right, he's here. He showed up.
Right.
He didn't sound like he was phoning it in. I know we were talking the other day about him possibly phoning in the mixtape. but I didn't feel like he was phoning it in. I feel like he was primed and ready to go at that point.
The raps on this album are J. Cole level raps. He's rapping his ass off when it's time to rap.
Yeah.
His pen is sharp. His pen is working well. That
Mm-hmm.
part is clear.
Oh yeah, immediate
No
quotables.
disputing
People
that.
were quoting him hours, mere hours after this came out. I mean, yeah, that's solid for sure.
But that's about it.
That's about it. Okay, I wasn't gonna say that. I was gonna say, well, I'm gonna let you cook, so I'm gonna start, and then you can take it away because you're gonna have way more to say about this than I am.
Sure.
I wish the album was shorter. That's the first thing. And I think in curating a shorter album, I think there would be less critiques.
Mm.
For me, I think there would be less room for critique. I prefer disc 1 over disc 2. I
Oh,
felt,
really? Okay.
yes.
Alright.
I felt that disc 2, I didn't like the way certain things sounded. I know there was a lot of, I don't know, what are we calling them? Are they samples? Are they flips? Well, I'm not really sure.
I mean, there were both all throughout this album. All throughout
Yeah.
this album, there were flips and samples from the 90s and the early 2000s. All
Yeah,
over
like
this album.
some of them just
All
didn't
over.
sound right to me, and it's really hard. I know a lot of people sample, a lot of people flip.
It's really
It's
hard to
really,
like Future singing Usher.
yeah,
You could say it.
yeah.
I'm keeping it real today. I'm sorry.
I didn't love that. Um, there were some other songs. I didn't take notes, so apologies. I mean, I'm always gonna love anything with Erica Badu. I'm biased, and I think I even like the P.D. Pablo song. But then it kind of got the Burner Boy song.
That shit pissed me off.
I liked it.
I don't want to hear Burna Boy singing Ja Cure.
I liked it.
I don't want to hear that.
I actually like that.
At that, I was really liking the song till he started singing Ja Cure, and then I said, "All right, my nigga,
Longing for
why? Why are we doing this? Why?
my baby to love me
Why?
more.
Why are we doing
What
this?
am I longing for?
I'm longing for something different."
Yeah,
There were way too many samples and flips on this album.
that did
Both this, it was like, yo, dog, what are we doing?
it's not
And
the
then
album I thought it
Common
was gonna
comes
be.
on,
Uh-huh.
and he sampled Common to do the Common, but he didn't sample I Still Love Her, though. He sampled The Light, which pissed some people off, apparently. I'm just like, I don't know what we're doing here. Like,
Yeah, I didn't care for that. And I think that's why I say the second disc wasn't my favorite. I feel like there were a few of those where I was just like, I don't
because the second
I
disc, it was overkill. That's why.
I feel like, let's get some new beats in here. Let's do something different. I didn't like the flips. I didn't enjoy them. Not some of them, not all of them.
Did you
Towards
like,
the end.
did you like J. Cole being Tupac and Biggie?
I was okay with that.
I hated it.
I was okay with that.
But why?
All right.
Why?
So, you know what? This is
No,
the part
keep
of the
going.
show. This is the part of the show, ladies and gentlemen, where our resident music scientist comes on and he tells us all the things that were wrong with the album and all the things that were right with the album. So I am going to take my handy dandy phone, I'm going to rest it down, I'm going to put my feet up.
You see? And that's what happens when you put your feet up. You see? Good for you. Good for you.
Wait a minute.
Good for
Oh,
your
ring
ass.
light went out, my phone fell.
Good. Good. Good for
Oh,
you.
now the ring light's not turning back on. All right, I got my phone. I got my feet up. I got my pillow back here. I'm just gonna hang back. Oh, it's getting hot in here. I'm gonna zip this down a little bit so I can get some more air. And I am going to let you cook. Go ahead. Tell us
Why?
everything
We were
you
having a
thought.
good time ping ponging. Why?
No,
Why is
I
the
like
game
the
ping
pink.
pong over?
I'm gonna talk to you. I'm not gonna not talk to you, but I want you to start because I know you have a lot to say. And we're already
As a
45
fan,
minutes in.
we are 45 minutes in. As a fan of J. Cole, I'm
Mhm.
highly disappointed.
Really?
For 10 years, you have hyped this album up. For 10 years, every time it is mentioned, you have told us the fall off will be the best shit ever. This is not the best shit ever. This is not. So as a fan, I'm very disappointed. Next on the list is you gave us 27 explainers. This is hyperbole. It was not literally 27. We don't need explainers. Bad Bunny was super hot fire. We didn't need an explainer for it. It was just super hot fire. We didn't need 12 paragraphs about what this album was and the journey and the mindset. And we didn't need it. If it's really good, it's just really good. But this was not really good.
But do you think that you keep calling it explainers? Do you think it's that he's trying to explain
You don't need to explain.
his choices? Do you think that do you think that the goal is for him to explain his choices, or do you think that it's just he's just being? Do you think that this is his? Well, I'll say what I think. This seems like him trying to engage, and not just put
Engage
out an
what?
album and drop it like a hot potato and then let everybody have a reaction to it. He seems to be trying to be intentional about interacting with the public right now.
Then go do an interview. Go sit down with Angie Martinez and talk to Angie Martinez. So we can see somebody ask you some real ass questions. Because niggas got questions.
He even set up his message board. He did all of that. I feel like he's trying to connect.
Connect with some other producers.
All right.
No, because J. Cole made most of these beats. Like when he first started. Connect with some other producers. Give us some bangers. And show us what you said you was going to show us for 10 years. As a fan, I'm highly disappointed.
Okay.
That's number one. This was not what you told us it was going to be for the last 10 years. And I think you knew that, which is why you gave us all of these explainers. This was an ode to hip hop. This was a letter to your city. This was a lot of things. And some of those things were beautiful. I'm gonna be very real. Some of those things were beautiful. But they were not what you've been telling us for the last 10 years. And I'm gonna take it a step further as a fan. On this project, you're calling yourself the GOAT. This is not the GOAT last album. You've been calling yourself the GOAT for a while. You don't want to be part of top 3. You are top 3. It keeps changing. Whatever. No problem. But the nigga who's the best, this ain't the last album of the nigga who's the best. Because did you hear GNX? Did you hear Drake's last project? Like, I just want to know, were you listening to your competitors? Because your competitors were putting things out at a high clip. Whether I think so or not, that's the public consensus. What you doing, nigga? Because Wale's album was better than this. And Wale is not part of the top 3 according to y'all. Wale is not the GOAT according to y'all. Wale is category B according to y'all. Wale's last album is better than this. So I'm really confused as a fan. So what we doing here? This ain't the super hot fire you told us was coming for the last 10 years. And I know that the J. Cole stans are going to see this and kill me. Let me beat y'all to it. Fuck y'all. Because y'all are just stans.
Wait a minute.
No, because here's the problem with any stan. The problem with any stan is they have what's called blind loyalty. So everything is the best shit ever. It don't matter what nobody else thinks because you're part of the hive, you're a stan, and it's the best shit ever. This happens for all the big artists. Whether that's Beyonce, Rihanna, J. Cole, Drake, Kendrick Lamar, the list goes on. It's the best shit ever every time they drop, and they don't use their brain at all. It's just, oh my God, it's so good. Oh, it's the best. No, it's not. It's not the best. Stop. Okay?
What are J. Cole stands called?
I don't know and I don't care.
Are they called the Jermaines?
I don't know and I don't care. I have no idea.
Oh,
but those people.
Cold World, citizens of Cold World.
Those people, I don't give a fuck about what you're gonna say in the comments. Okay. You can kiss my black ass. That's the message for y'all. Now, anybody who's here to critique, anybody who's here to have real conversations, we can have those. The beats on this project were not amazing. There's not really bangers on this project. It's really hard to say the top 5 bangers on this project. What's gonna be the platinum hit single? There won't be one. The lady joints were probably some of the best lady joints J. Cole has written. The songwriting is better on disc 2 than on disc 1, in my opinion. But the problem is the songwriting in disc 2, disc 39, quote unquote, is tainted by all the sample flips and redos and remixes. And I get it. He was trying to pay homage to all of the people on the wall. I get it. There was some Nas in there, some Lupe in there, some Petey Pablo in there, some Juvenile in there. All the people that were on the wall, this was a way to pay homage to both them and hip-hop. And that part was absolutely beautiful. But we still have to be able to take that, and it still has to be delivered in a palatable way. I don't want to hear J. Cole sampling Marvin Sapp, Jennifer Lopez.
That was my least favorite song on the album.
Jennifer Lopez and a viral TikTok video all in one song. Dude, what are we doing?
The Marvin Sapp. That is my least favorite song on the album.
I don't want to hear that. Okay, now let me say something as somebody who is an artist as well. This is a concept album. As a person who creates concept projects all the time, I'm here to let you know that concept projects are not easy to make. It's really easy to make an album that's 10 to 15 tracks of random shit. It's much easier to make 10 to 15 songs that don't really have any rhyme or reason. They just songs that became a body of work. It's easy to record 40 songs, or easier is what I'm trying to say. It's easier to record 40 songs and say, we're just going to pick the best 10 to 15. Way easier than saying, I'm going to create a concept and deliver the concept in a palatable way. This is not an easy task. Okay? There are people like Schoolboy Q who knock them shits out the park. Schoolboy Q is great at concept projects, and there are others. And I think really it's just Schoolboy Q. I'm going to be honest. There are others who have done well, they've done okay, but really Schoolboy Q is the bar for concept albums. And some could say Lupe too. That depends on perspective. Lupe Fiasco started off with concept albums and people loved them, and then he kind of went his own way. But they're not easy to do, because what you have to do is think every song that you make about this topic, about this theme, about this concept, and you have to find a way to still do the shit that niggas want, whoever your fans are. Still do the shit that niggas want. Still do shit that's palatable while incorporating this theme. It's not easy. So the artist in me really feels bad for Jermaine Cole, because I know that this is not easy to do. No, I'm being honest here. I'm keeping it very real.
Feel bad for him.
I do feel bad because Jermaine Cole is not the greatest at concept albums. This is the second one he's done that has not really hit in the way that he intended. For Your Eyes Only was a concept album, and people hated it. I don't hate it, but people hated it.
You just hate this one.
I don't know. My problem is you said this was the last one, and this should not be what your last album sounds like. Which we're gonna go back to that in a minute. Well, we're gonna get back to that in a minute. But then that creates more problems, right? If you backpedaled, which your Apple Music description for this album insinuates, then which we'll get back to, then that creates more problems. But let me just finish addressing this. I truly feel bad for Jermaine Cole, because I understand how hard it is to create a concept album, and really, this album is 2 concept albums. Really, the first disc is the concept of the 29-year-old who's the man and came back home and had to deal with a lot of things as the man at 29 in his city. That's one concept. Then the next concept was, I'm back at 39 and I'm way more the man than before. But also my whole life has changed in crazy ways because I'm the man and because I'm older. Two totally different concept albums merged into one. He gave himself a damn near impossible task.
Yeah.
And that is why I feel bad for Jermaine Cole, because concept albums are already hard enough. And he made it more difficult for himself. Now, there are people saying, this was not the album we wanted. This was the album J. Cole wanted. And hey, I'm happy Jermaine Cole is happy. Truly, I am. No sarcasm. If J. Cole is happy with this, then I'm happy for him. But it's hard to sit through this project. Whether you love it or you hate it, it's not an easy project to get through. The beats are not amazing. The songwriting is really weird on this project. I don't think this was his best output. Does that mean it sucks? No. He's still writing way better than a lot of people in the field. I think this one was not for me. There was a lot of singing. It was a lot of auto-tunes.
Oh,
there was
he
a lot
crooning.
of like... He was what?
I said he was crooning.
Yeah, this one wasn't really for me. There's very few songs on this one that I really get jiggy with. This too was really where I was like, okay, this is the J. Cole I'm looking for. But, and this is the J. Cole I could kind of relate to as somebody who's 39 currently. But then all the sample flips and the remixes, they were just really hard to keep going through. Like when it got to Common, I had to pause it because as an MC, as a person who writes songs, I was annoyed as fuck. I was like, all right, my nigga, are you gonna do something here that does not include paying homage to somebody else?
Yeah. And you know what? Now that you're talking about it, maybe what I need to do is listen to them separately. Like, not listen to them both in one sitting, because I felt like my fatigue set in once I got to disc 2. So now I don't know that I have a good enough appreciation of disc 2, just because by the time you get to it, it's like, okay. And then we get to Marvin Sapp and I'm like, the fatigue is fully in me now, and I'm just like, okay. So I hear what you're saying, and I totally see why you say that. But yeah, I just think it was, by the time we got there, it was just like, oh my gosh, there's more. And then the more wasn't my favorite. Like, the sound, I think, was just not, it wasn't doing it for me. Because to your point from earlier, the words are there, the flow is there, like he's doing his thing. It's not to say that it's not skillful, it's not well
Very
done,
skillful.
right?
Multiple flows, lots of storytelling, which ends up being a critique, honestly. But
he sounds great. You know, I don't have any complaints about that. But yeah, it was the flips and the samples and all of that by the time I got to disc 2, I was like, all right, this might be a bit much for me. And I'm someone who loves a sample, you know, as a child of the Bad Boy era.
Right.
I mean,
but it was overkill, just like the stories. How many stories we got? Almost every song was a story at one point. It's like, all right, bro, are you gonna rap at any point without telling a story? Like,
yeah, but like you said, it's a concept album, and I think he tried to deliver on the concept. And you know, sometimes that in itself, just doing a concept album, can be a niche thing to do. So I could understand. Yeah, I could understand why you.
This album was purposefully crafted in a way that this was not for mainstream hip hop. Like, if you listen to that second disc, that second disc sounds like a Little Brother album. This sounds like an underground hip hop album almost. Like, that's the point of that second disc. The second disc is very clearly like, I'm not really trying to do any of the shit that's gonna get played anywhere. This is really just, I'm really on some like conscious hip hop in the underground realm kind of shit. And I thought that was gonna be great until I just got like overkill with the stories and the samples and the remixes. It's like, dog, stop, please. And now let's get to the final point. Let's wrap it up. J. Cole is already saying more songs are being released on Twitter. The Apple Music description says the GOAT ain't going anywhere anytime soon. And JID already said him and J. Cole have an entire album of work done together. Here's the problem for me. For me. I'm not saying for anybody else, but for me.
Yeah.
You've been pitching this as the final album and you're going out with a bang. This was not that. And now we learn there's more music coming. So then what the fuck was the point?
Oh, I say this all the time. My only contribution to this part of the conversation is duh.
But then why call it the fall off and why do this if it's not the last one? Because that's what has been said this whole time. For 10 years it's been, this is the last one and I'm going out with a bang. This isn't the last one and it wasn't a bang. So what's the point?
I can believe that he thought so in the beginning. I can also believe that he went in, he did one thing, and then 10 years have gone by. He's changed. His perspectives on life may have changed. His perspectives on his craft and where he is professionally may have changed, and just where he stands amongst his peers has changed. And I could totally see you changing your mind. Having an idea of a concept and having an idea of walking away from something 10 years in advance. It's just not humanly possible to have the same exact idea you had 10 years ago today. You could still have the same goals, right? Like, you could still be like, well, at some point I want to retire from hip hop and I want to do this, and that. But it doesn't mean that there's no fluidity there in the way you view that, in the way you execute that, etc., etc. So in my mind, I get having a thought when 10 years ago, when you're 29, and you're in that space, and you're in a very different place in your career and a very different place just in life. And then fast forward to now, like, as someone who is close in age to him and understands that, who I was at 29 is not who I am at 39. And there's a different level of maturity. There's a different level of life, like, experience and understanding. Totally get that maybe today he's like, maybe I'm not done. Maybe I thought that I was going to be done, but no. I think that's okay too. I even think it's okay to release said album. But I also think that if this is what you've been telling people, if this is what you've been selling them for 10 years, then I think it is okay to come out and say, I did change my mind. I don't know. You could even say, I don't know what's next, but I'm in a different headspace. I think he's trying to say that, but I think he's trying not to be held to one thing or another, which I understand, because you're a celebrity, you're high profile, you maybe want to keep certain private things private, and that's fine too. That's where we lose, I think, sometimes, because we get so invested in these people and the things they tell us and whatnot, and then they switch up on us, and now we're like, well, we deserve some sort of explanation for what you said in public that now you're keeping private. And I've said it on our podcast about various things. I do believe that when people tell you things in public and then all of a sudden they make it private, I know a lot of y'all like to say, oh, nobody's owed anything, and I hear you, but at the same time, if you view this as transactional, then you have to take some responsibility for that, even if you decide you're not going to say it.
Right.
He as the artist who was telling people that this is how it's going to be, it's his prerogative to change his mind, but he also has to know that people are going to have questions. People are going
Yep.
to want to know what is happening, because it is a bit of a jump scare where now you're like, okay, everybody was waiting for it to come out, and then now it's coming out, but now it's like, is this the last of J. Cole that we're getting? Is this the end? And now we have to treat it as such, or what?
Right.
He hasn't really, he's being vague about that. But as
Yeah.
soon as he said he had intentions, that line, I didn't even need to read the whole thing to know that he had changed his mind, which is okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, I get it. You're viewing this as what he said. I mean, a year ago he was saying it was his last album. 2 years ago he was saying it was his.
That's my point.
Before we even started
And this is
weeknights,
not
and
the
just
10
before
out
we
of 10
started
we were
weeknights, we
promised.
talked
This
about
is
it.
more like a 7.
Yeah,
Because that's what we were promised. We were promised, we were pitched a 10 out of 10 banger, and I'm out. And this is a 7, and you're not out. It's like, I don't really know what's happening here. I've been bamboozled.
I'm happy we got a new J. Cole album, and I think that I would like to sit with it more.
I mean, I heard it
Um,
3 times. I don't need to sit anymore.
I heard it like 2.5, and I think I would like to sit with it more, because I don't know. It was just a crazy weekend, and it's hard sometimes to give a reaction quickly, and then because then there's certain albums, and we've talked about this before, where there's certain albums where I'm like, I think I want to go back and listen to that again. Like maybe take a
That's
break,
okay.
take a break from it, and then go back to it next week or next month or something like that. And sometimes, not always, but sometimes I go back to it and I'm like, okay, fresh ears, I'm hearing it differently now, you know? And this is one that I will do that with, especially because now I think that I need to listen to the 2 different discs separately. I don't want to listen to them together. I've
Then
done
he
that.
shouldn't have released them together.
I agree with you. But since he did, I'm like, now I just want to listen to disc 2 by itself. Start from the beginning to the end, listen to it a couple times, and then, and then think about that. Put that into perspective, because I feel like I didn't give it the fair shake that it deserved.
Got it.
Yeah. And I'm also not the music scientist, so.
Me either. I'm just a guy.